Last Jedi news. And you know what's kind of funny here is China does not like The Last Jedi, apparently. So China decides it's basically just taken The Last Jedi out of theaters. Opening week was like an abomination. They're saying that the movie's only going to make about $50 million. In
China?
In China. In China. Sorry, I was trying to channel our president. Not a good impression. But, you know, the thing about it is that's to me terrifying, because how many people live in China? Like, that is
just over 1 billion.
Yeah, you should
eighth of the world's population.
Make a lot more than $50 million, and a lot of people aren't freaking out about this because, you know, at this point it's the highest grossing film of 2017, and the franchise, like you mentioned a little while ago in the show, that the franchise has now crossed the $9 billion mark, which is pretty cool. And I think The Last Jedi is right around $1.4 billion right now. I think if it would have had a good reaction in China, it probably could have made, 1.6, 1.7. I don't think it was ever going to cross 2, but I think it's kind of a big deal that it's a flop, like, it's not good in China. And I don't think it's a cultural difference thing, because the Chinese people have enjoyed Star Wars since it came out in 77. So I don't want to be, you know, there are some people where I think it's a valid argument to be had. I just don't agree with it. I don't think this is cultural difference. I think this is like looking at this movie, and the fans just did not connect. Although, now that I think about it, Rogue One did have Chirrut and Baze. You know, two Chinese. They were two Chinese actors, right? Mm-hmm. So that probably was very attractive overseas in Asia. But you know, you also have like There's Asian characters in The Last Jedi. I don't know. I'm not sure why that exists. I mean, are you concerned that it's one of the large? You don't care. No, it doesn't. Am I just blowing smoke up a?
This conversation just doesn't interest me.
Oh.
Yep. Sorry, bud.
You have no opinion on it flopping and it being a financial success anywhere else?
No.
Okay, I guess it doesn't matter.
I mean, here's the thing. Star Wars is going to do what it does. Disney has made it known that what they want, they're going to do. And it doesn't matter what the rest of us want. You know, we just spent 20 minutes bitching about Solo and the lack of advertising and marketing, but Disney doesn't care. They're still going to move through. So I think Disney needs to learn a lesson from this and figure out why it is they didn't do well. I don't know if it's because the plot wasn't there, if they didn't market well enough. I mean, if they're marketing the Last Jedi the way they're marketing Han Solo, you know, I'm not really surprised. I mean, I think before I'd actually make an opinion on this, I'd want to delve deeper and figure out why it sucked. You know, were they competing against other movies? Were there lack of resources available to promote it? Were people just that turned off of the?
Maybe that's something we should have done before we did the show.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. That's not our job. That's not our job to do. But yeah, it is interesting. I'll be curious to know if Lucasfilm or Disney does like a poll over in China and other Asian countries to find out like where the disconnect is.
I mean, we're not talking about it, but there was some article I was reading about a week ago, and it was talking about the most divisive and the least divisive Star Wars movies.
Yes.
In terms of population consensus on whether it's a good movie or not. They were saying that Gareth Edwards' Rogue One is the least divisive movie, that everybody just genuinely thinks
it's a great movie.
But then out of all 9 now that we have, that The Last Jedi is the most divisive. People love it or hate it.
Well, they took some risks. Yeah.
And so, I don't know, maybe they just...
Isn't that crazy, though? In the last 5 years, you've had the most divisive and the most agreed upon Star Wars story. That's pretty cool.